Welcome to Heal Talk Tuesdays with Liza, where transformation begins as we evoke, embrace, and evolve. Greetings, and welcome to Heal Talk Tuesday. This is Liza. Hi, it's so good to be here with you, isn't it? Well, today is, guess what? It's April Fool's Day, and while so many are laughing and are doing pranks, playing pranks on people, for some this day can be absolutely nerve-wracking, and it can stir up more of nerves than nostalgia. So allow me to share a story with you. No matter where you are, I want you to also know, not only today is April Fool's Day, but it's also first day in April. So April, for some, is about springtime, and for others, it reminds them of tax. So it's Fool's Day, it's tax time coming. If you are anywhere with nature, then you are seeing the little poppy seeds and everything. Everything is a perception, right? A few years ago, I had a client, let's call her Sarah. She came to me after experiencing what she called her April Fool's breakdown. Now, why I'm saying this, because her coworkers thought it would be funny to switch her laptop keyboard, the way the layout was, as a prank. And when she walked in, she couldn't type her password, so she panicked. Her heart started racing, palms got sweaty, and she thought she was having a heart attack. Now, that reminded me, and I was sharing with her when I was an assistant to attorney working at a law firm. I've been doing this for 25 years, so we're going back to early 1990s, okay? So early 1990s, the workers' comp and suing and having all this properness at the corporate world was not the same. At that time, at the law firm, the boss loved to play pranks. Have you ever had people play a prank on you? I mean, April Fools, I know, I do that. By all means, my office manager will definitely say, yes, I play pranks on her, but loving pranks. So I want you to just imagine, here's me 30 years ago, much younger than this, working at the law firm. I come in and there was a stack of files. Bear with me, okay. Stack of files that I had to go through. Now, as a legal assistant, as secretary, not even an assistant then, I came in, I saw the piles, and I just left it there. I went to grab a cup of coffee, get my cup of coffee, and the other secretary was sitting at the other end of the room. So I said hello to her, and I came back. Put the coffee over here, move the stack of papers and the files away, the legal documents away, and what do I see? There used to be something in the boss's room, which was a globe, a clear globe. Okay, are you with me so far? And inside the globe was a head of a boa snake. So I had seen that there, but never in my world would I imagine this thing being on my desk. So by moving this, all I could see, not even the globe, the head of the snake staring at me. At that moment, all I did was scream bloody, run out of the room, run out of the office into the hallway while I am shaking. And they, the other secretary and the boss and the other person, knowing what happened, and they were laughing. Now, it was funny for them, but do you think it was funny for me? Not at all. Because in the hallway, I was shaking. They came, they stood at the doorway, and I was trembling, and they were laughing. Now, I want you to imagine. He used to play pranks all the time on the other secretary, so she knew I was a newbie. I had no idea that they play pranks on April Fool's Day. And it didn't sit well with me. But, long story short, I got better, he came and hugged me and apologized, not knowing that this is the kind of a reaction I would play. She went and grabbed some water, brought it for me and everything. So, can you imagine if that was this day? And this is exactly what happened to Sarah. Something that we think is such a small little mundane thing can be huge for someone else. Because Sarah's coworker thought it would be funny to switch her laptop keyboard layout as a prank. But when she walked in and couldn't type, she had an anxiety. Why? Because she was so Mrs. Proper, everything had to be right. Logically, she knew it's not life-threatening, but emotionally, something triggers from the inside. Has this happened to you? By all means, please do share. I want to know if this happened to you. Write a comment. You can say #1 as yes, or you can say yes, or share with me what has happened for you. Because when we think about it, April Fool's, her body was responding to a very old trauma. This was not about the keyboard. It was not about the prank right here. Even mine was not so much about the prank there, except at that time, I had a phobic reactions to snakes. I have fear of snakes. A few years ago, at one of the wonderful events that I attend to, they brought someone who has a zoo in Long Beach, and he brings snakes to events. By all means, they are his pets. So I even have a picture of me with the snake on my arm. And that is because I have done a lot of hypnosis, a lot of work on removing or overcoming my fears of snakes. Now, this doesn't say that the trails that I go to, if there is a snake, I'm going to stand over there and go, come on, snake, and I'll put it over my... But I won't go into this panic and anxiety. So, understanding that the things that happen to us, the way we react, the way we have our reactions to experiences may not be what is happening at that very moment, but a lingering trauma, a lingering negative things that have happened long ago. So this April Fool's for Sarah triggered a deep fear of unpredictability. And actually, for her, it was humiliation and feeling out of control. Mine was not humiliating, or I didn't feel it was humiliating. I was just reacting. So, how does hypnotherapy help? How does it work? And first, how does anxiety work? Because anxiety bypasses the logical factor, the logical thought fact conscious mind, and it bypasses the logical and speaks straight to the body. The body, all it does is reacts to what you think and what you feel. When you have a pain, the body gives you information. It's like knocks on the door and says, pay attention to me. there is something off, there is something wrong, take care of it, right? And that's exactly what anxiety is. When we feel anxious, when we start thinking in the loop of negativity and start creating internal anxiety, because anxiety is never from the outside, that's exactly what happens. We get sweaty palms, heart palpitation, and the body starts reacting and doubles your physical reaction. So, through hypnotherapy, Sarah and I worked together to peel away or uncover where that core anxiety rooted. Because the stem, the root, has to be somewhere else. It could not have been just a keyboard, right? So we didn't erase her past. It's never about erasing a memory. Yet we evoked it, we awakened what was, so that she can embrace the feelings that are still lingering and understand it, acknowledge it, so that she can move forward, right? And in just a few sessions, she was able to laugh again and laugh at the prank. And understanding where it stemmed from, because it went all the way, if I recall, she was 11 years old. And she was humiliated in class by other kids, that she was bullied. Now, because we reset, what I call a reset of a mindset, in like editing it, the emotional charge that she used to experience and gave her the anxiety faded away. She had more control. She could handle better. She laughed at the prank and understood she can, being an older adult, she can now have a moment with that younger self. Doesn't have to be a child, right? 11 years old, some of us, we call it a child, but it doesn't have to be a little girl. It can be a teenage or preteen, right? That's what hers was, 11 years old. By strengthening her and letting her know that the 11-year-old is safe, that the 11-year-old is part of who she is, and she is safe, and she can handle pranks better from this day forward. You see, anxiety and panic aren't just in your head. They're stored in your body, and hypnosis helps you have tools and techniques through the state of deep relaxation. When you go into that state of deep, profound relaxation, then you bypass the logical, analyzing, reasoning, judging, criticizing factor to tap into the emotions and work with the body. Once you have full control, you can manage just about anything. And that's exactly what happens. We gently reprogram how you respond to stress, how you respond to anxiety, or even pranks. So it's not about mind control, but it's about regaining a better control over your mind and your reactions. So speaking of pranks, I once tried a prank on my assistant about 8 years ago, and every year I used to do the same thing. And today's prank was absolutely beautiful. We had a Zoom meeting with a company at 10 o'clock for our phone system, right? And so I called her at 8:30 and I said, by the way, we have to be in the office at 9 o'clock. I got an email that the meeting has been moved to 9 a.m. And she's like, no, it was at 10 o'clock. And I said, no, you don't understand. I got an email And it says it's 9 a.m. So make sure you're coming at a few minutes before 9 a.m. and I'll be there. She's like, oh, I better get ready. And that's only a few moments later. And she started getting huffy and puffy. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you then. I waited not even a minute, 30 seconds, and then I dialed her back. And she's like, now what? And I'm saying, April Fools. You know, I didn't wait an hour, or I didn't wait a long time. And it was just catching that moment. And it's not about scaring someone. It's about having some humor. So we laughed, and it reminded me that sometimes our body keeps the score. And even though she knew I'm going to do a prank, a loving prank, a genuine, heartfelt prank, she was not expecting this. And that's the whole thing. If we're going to do, let us do something that uplifts someone's spirit, that it's like, oh, we look forward to something like this. Because we all want laughter, joy, looking forward to things in our life. I hope you find something that genuinely creates this magical, what I like to call it, delicious expectation. Looking forward to something. Meeting someone, experiencing something, hearing something that delights you. And so April Fools, or a life in general, is has you, creates a feeling of anxiety, like tax time. Maybe it's time for you to stop tricking yourself and break through. If you want to break through of any kind of an anxiety, panic, fears, phobias, or want to have harmony and peace within yourself, by all means, give me a call. Through hypnosis, you too can have the tools. You can have techniques to calm yourself. You can learn how to do self-hypnosis and have a better daily life. You can always find me on lizaboubari.com, HealWithin.com, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. By all means, please do. Just go ahead to YouTube, look for Liza Boubari, subscribe, share. That's how you help me, support me in bringing you more information. And by all means, I'm always there to be of assistance. Give me a call. I offer free 15-minute consultations. So there is absolutely no expense except exploring and seeing how I can be of help. And if I can't, I can always find someone else who does. So let's get real and let's get calm. lizaboubari.com or HealWithin.com. Call me, book your 15-minute consultation with me today, and let's do this. Let's explore how hypnosis can help you shed the anxieties, release fear, and restore calm in your life. May you have an amazing April 1st Fool's Day. And until next week, God bless you, and may the universal light surround you always. Bye-bye. And if you like this, share it, here. Subscribe, and go to YouTube, and you'll see the rest of all my podcasts.
But if you want to go back and watch other videos from a week ago, 2 weeks ago, even a year ago, click right here. See you next time.